Now, the very first thing to think about when you're getting into 35mm cameras is the category of cameras before you really get into individual models. The reason being is that these cameras come in really three flavors. You get SLRs, rangefinders, and point and shoots, all of which will be different compared to the other two for different reasons. They will have generally similar features in a lot of cases, but most of all, some of these features may differ completely. And that's going to dictate how you use the camera, which is then going to dictate how you're going to take the photo. So essentially, you really have to consider the category before you get into really models. So that's why first I want to give you the idea of what these models actually are. When it comes to rangefinders like this Canon P, these are some of the most sought after cameras out there on the market because of certain aspects of the camera. They are some of the most aesthetically pleasing cameras to look at. They make great shelf pieces, of course. But beyond just how they look, they take amazing images. And usually they're completely mechanical cameras, eliminating some of that electronic dysfunction that we're going to have in other cameras. But they also have one of the biggest differences between the other two models purely because how they focus. When it comes to collecting focus, rangefinders do it a little bit differently than the other two because they separate the viewfinder from the actual barrel of the lens. We'll talk about this a little bit more when we talk about SLRs and how they do it, but with a rangefinder specifically, by separating the viewfinder and the lens, this is a different kind of shooting experience. And that is how you answer the question if your subject is in focus with a rangefinder. Point and shoot cameras in this category are probably the most well known out of all of these other ones purely because they are the go to vacation, family barbecue, mom and dad kind of cameras. They're the ones that we literally have all had sitting in drawers forever because they are so affordable and so readily available on the market, even today. But beyond just being affordable and available, they are also probably the easiest to use, which is why they're called point and shoot cameras because that's exactly what you do with them. You click a single shutter button one time and you get a photo. It's much like using your iPhone camera today. That's kind of the same concept. It's meant to be used by all kinds of different people, which is why we all have them. But before you click off this video because I've given you the perfect category of camera to search for, remember that these are your first cameras, not necessarily your lifetime cameras. Essentially, these are the cameras where people pick them because of simplicity and ease of use. And I just made a video about all of that on one of the most expensive cameras, so go check that out from last week. But essentially, keep in mind here that these cameras are great, but they're probably also going to be the ones that you're going to first outgrow. So, let's talk about the third category. SLR in itself means single lens reflex. Essentially, light goes through the barrel of the lens, hits a mirror, which then hits a prism inside the camera, and then flips it to the viewfinder. Unlike the rangefinder system we talked about, where the lens and the viewfinder are separated, meaning that you have to do adjustments and compensation for it, and really a lot of guesswork into determining what your image is going to look like in the end, with an SLR, you're not doing that. What you see is what you get. Because you're looking through the viewfinder, which is showing you what the actual lens sees, you can do a lot of adjustments and you're actually seeing them as they happen, which is massive for a beginner because you're not having to assume what you're going to look at later on. You're looking at it as it is currently being taken. Because of them also being well known, available, affordable, they're kind of really the sweet spot for film photography. So that's something to also consider. And of course, if this helps you out, don't forget to smash that like button and the subscribe button for more help in picking your next cameras or other film photography related content. If you have any other ideas or concepts or things you're looking for, let me know in those comments down below again, and I will absolutely look to make something to help you guys out as well. But beyond all of that, I just want to say thank you for checking this one out, and I will see you guys, as always, in the next one.